Hello everybody, Nine Anna does. How's everybody doing today? Got old blackbird over there now. It's big blue head. Well, yeah, that's when I sit on my porch and I watch all the birds come into the bird feeder. And then I got the other one there, Miss Vivi. Little Miss V. What do you think, Viv? Shall we go play? Vivi, let's go play. Get going, go play. Yes, you. And I'm waving to you. Okay, let me turn this around because she's not going to participate. She's not going to look at you. So there's that. Anyway. So I woke up to some really, we're not going to say disturbing news. It's par for the course for what's going on in Washington these days. But apparently his royal moose knuckle there has been on a pardon spree. He's gone mental. More mental. Not as mental as he was when he went on that 1,500 friggin' pardons for Jan 6ers and 600 of the other ones that seriously damaged police officers and stuff like that. I think there was only 14 that were commuted, but they all got out of jail. None of them are doing any time because they were just treated the worst in history. Nobody's ever seen treatment like that of a prisoner. Really? I think you should ask Abrego Garcia. We'll talk about that later. No, we won't, but they should be talking about it. But besides that, now Trump is on a new spree of pardons. I don't know if the man's lost his mind. Well, we know he has, but there's varying degrees with him. You know what I mean? One of the first ones I'm going to talk about is, hang on a second, drop something. Ooh. The first one is, his name's Scott Jenkins. Not Scott Jennings, so don't go thinking that. Wish it was, though. But at least he's not doing anything criminal. He's just an asshole. My thoughts. Entertainment purpose only. Whatever. Yeah, the first one is Scott Jenkins. Now, he was a Virginia sheriff who was selling access, so to speak. And he decided that maybe he could start selling auxiliary sheriff badges. You never know when you need one, right? But he was taking bribes and everything else and ended up with like $75,000 in his pocket and got sentenced just in March there to 10 years in prison. But Trump's way of thinking is, you can't put a sheriff in jail. Right? I mean, that would be treatment worse than anything, and it should be for this bastard. But yeah, he got his pardon. Made to pay restitution. Not in this case, because he got a pardon, so he doesn't have to pay anything back. Next one on the list is Michelle Fiore. Now, Michelle Fiore is a real clear bitch. She raised $70,000 for a fallen Las Vegas police officer. And she was going to build a statue, and she raised $70,000 for this statue. But did that statue get made? Nope. You know what did get made? She must have got a hold of Trump's face catalog there, because she went out and booked herself a ton of plastic surgery. She paid for parts of her daughter's wedding. She went on a couple trips. Yeah, so much for the fallen police officer and his family. Can't imagine what they're feeling. So she was ordered to pay restitution, and he just pardoned her, so no restitution there for $70,000. Then we have the Nikola electronic vehicle founder guy. Yeah, he was found guilty of fraud and wiretap. convicted of wire fraud. Yeah, wire fraud and securities fraud. And wouldn't you know it, his lawyer was Pam Bondi. A lucky break for him, right? Yeah, Pam Bondi was his lawyer. So he got a pardon because his wife and him in Trump's election there, while he was still out on bail, donated $1.8 million to Trump's election. $1.8 million. He's got off cheap because Rudy was selling them for $2 million. But yeah, so there's that. So they did that little bit of stuff. And what kills me is that $1.8 million should be looked into too, because it was gotten fraudulently. Right? Do they care about that? Not a schmick. Not a schmick. And then we have, who's next on the list? We have Devin Archer, the one-time very best friend of Hunter Biden, who went to that friggin' hearing and lied his ass off about Hunter and about Biden. Biden called him out on it while he was still president. So, yeah, nothing. But Devin Archer and his best buddy at the time, not Hunter, got a pardon because the two of them were co-conspirators in defrauding an indigenous tribe of a shit ton of money. Nice guy, right? Maybe that's why Hunter was no longer involved with Devin, because he was a shady shit. Anyway, now we're on to Paul Walczak. Paul Walczak is the son of a donor who was the son of a donor and was convicted of tax fraud, just like Trump was. And he was ordered to pay $4 million. His family found Ashley Biden's diary. She forgot it when she moved out of an apartment in Florida or whatever. And they were going to publicize it. So they were making money off of that. And everybody said, no, you're not. You're not. So they, bug. It's the time of year too. So yeah, they were going to make her diary public. And Liz Oyer, who was fired by, I don't know, Pam Bondi anyway, part of the Justice Department there, Pam Oyer, said that she was fired from the Pardons Office and said, oh yeah, back on track here. She was fired from the Pardons Office and said, just since Trump has been in office, $1.2 billion has been wiped off the books, where that could have went back to the IRS or whatever, or back into the coffers. $1.2 billion. See, they don't give a shit about cutting any budget when they're doing shit like this. I'm just saying. And then there's Ed Martin. Ed Martin was all ready to go in there and be, he's a lawyer, and he was going to be the Attorney General, or Deputy Attorney General, one of the two. But when he got in front of those hearings, it was like, no. You'd have to grease that doorway pretty good to get his fat ass through there, I'm just saying. So Trump gave him another position because they had to make room for him somewhere, because he's done a lot of ass kissing to the tune of $600,000, which he was made to pay restitution once upon a time. So Trump gave him a job, Liz Oyer's replacement. That's right, because you don't need to be sworn in for that one. So God knows how many other shady bastards are in those positions. So the next one, Ed Martin actually said No MAGA left behind. That's what he put on excrement the other day. No MAGA left behind after all these pardons. And he said he is strongly looking at the two guys that planned and were ready to carry out the kidnapping of the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer. Yep. Looking hard. He goes, well, we can't leave those guys behind. Yeah? Let them go after your family and see how quick you are to change your tune. I digress. And then we have the Chrisleys. That's right. Todd and Julie. They were a reality star family. They have a daughter, Savannah, a son, I don't know his name, but there's a few siblings there. And they are all really staunch, like cult MAGA Republican Jesus people. Unless, of course, they're ripping off the government, the IRS, unless they're doing that. And what these two did was they spent like sailors on shore leave. That's what they did. They spent like there was no tomorrow, those people. So while they're spending all this money in that reality show, they got paid probably about, I'm going to say, maybe say $100,000 for each episode, $125,000 for the family to film that. So while they're filming all that, they're out there spending 10 times that much. There's a little clip that they showed on the news this morning, how they were sitting there. They have that little private room that they go into there, and they're in that little room, and he said, what the hell did you rent a yacht for? We don't need a yacht. We can't afford a yacht. And she's going, but I like it. So as long as she likes it, it was okay to do it. Like, when I go to the grocery store and I don't have any money, they don't give me food. They don't. I guess I could sit outside with a empty shopping bag and beg for people to drop stuff in it as they're leaving the grocery store, like a couple do over there right now. But that's besides the point. But yeah, it was stuff like that. So they were doing all this shady stuff with their money, and then Todd decides he's going to claim bankruptcy. So just before they went to do that, they hired a company that took all the money they had, $500,000 or more, and they got this company to put it in an account where the IRS or no other agency will be able to find it. And all the money in that bankruptcy, and they had to pay restitution and stuff, their total $36 million. And then their daughter Savannah put her big face on there. She was on a reality show and she was bad-mouthing her parents, saying how horrible parents they were and everything else, and that she was only 16 or something at the time. 2019 is when all this stuff came to light. They just went to prison, I don't know, 2 years ago. Should have been there from 2019. But anyway, she's going on about how horrible her parents were and they were just terrible, and how badly she was treated and had to stay behind and look after her teenage siblings, and she couldn't have a life, and all about her, right? Just like a true MAGA. Well, she put her big face. She got a Lara, I've got three faces, Trump on Fox News there, when I had an interview with her, was crying the blues and everything else. So, Laura said, oh dear, hey Daddy, better watch this. Give you some work to do. So she went on Laura Trump and boo-hooed and went on about all that stuff. And she was also at the Republican National Convention. And she got up there and she said her parents were persecuted by rogue prosecutors. They were all Democrats, by a Biden-appointed judge, and her parents were persecuted for their beliefs. No, they were persecuted because they ripped off the IRS and banks for $32 million. That's why they were prosecuted, honey. The word's prosecuted, not persecuted. That's why they went to prison. And you can whine and bawl and cry your face off, but you're just as complicit now because you're out there telling all these lies. That's what you're doing. She said the justice system has two faces. Well, you're looking at the one that's in your interview there, Lara, and in my personal opinion and entertainment purposes only, Miss Lara ripped off the RNC. She fired all those people. Nobody knew what they were doing, but the bastard still won. And she said, see, I did my job. No. Talk to the people that couldn't feed their families while you sat back at big fancy steak dinners at Mar-a-Lago. How about that? Or Qatar-a-Loco now. So anyway, yeah, that's his big dealio today, out pardoning some of the biggest fucking criminals this side of Texas. Oh yeah, in January, it was Ross Ulbricht. He was the guy that had Silk Road that was trafficking in people, drugs. Sold over $200 million in drugs, and everybody used crypto to pay for it. See, that shit's untraceable in most cases, so there's that. Anyway, Nan loves you. Be good, be safe. Please take care of you first so you can take care of somebody else. I love you. Hangers on. Mwah. New to the channel, like me, love me, share me, and please don't forget to subscribe. Oh, here comes old Viv pulling up to her. Come on, Vivi, let's get a poop treat. Come on. I'll turn this around. So you take care of you so you can take care of somebody else. I love you all. Come on, let's go get a treat. Put your tongue back in your gob there and let's go get some water for you. There's your little pink tongue. All right, Nan loves you. Take care of you. Bye.